Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. I know it's been quite a while that I've seen my actual face in one of these videos, but I guess I'll do it for this because technically speaking, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon. So I'm going to be reviewing the Blu-ray version of the live-action remake of Cinderella. Yeah, this came out not that long ago, actually. This is actually the second live-action remake they made of this character. I'm saying remake because it's the Disney's version of another Disney's version of another Disney's version. So, yeah, it's confusing. So, yeah, there's going to be the Blu-ray version I'm talking about, folks. But of course, as usual, I do have to talk about the plot of this particular film, which isn't saying much actually. Just like in the original film, folks, of course there's going to be a mean stepmother in this particular film because of the fact, well, that she pretty much has to live here. Cinderella is being forced to live in this particular place, even though she's like the kindest, most sweetest person you can possibly ever meet on planet Earth. And yes, she's not treated fairly because, I don't know, reasons. So, yeah, it plays in that aspect once again like in the original did. So, yeah, of course, she might get her heart broken from time to time because she finds this life pretty much wretched because of her stepmother. So, yeah, it's pretty depressing, at least for her anyway. She's like a slave, pretty much, in the household over here. And, of course, you know, she wants to take care of animals. She wants to be remaining kind-hearted anyway because she's always looking for the better part of her life. There has to be a brighter side of this depressing, dark place. And even the two other characters, the stepsisters, are pretty mean to her for, I guess, reasons. But yeah, they never really explain that angle really. But anyway, they're just mean, pretty much just to be mean. So overall, folks, it's pretty much the same movie we've already seen. Of course, there's going to be the fairy godmother that comes out of nowhere and helps Cinderella, obviously. And, yeah, she's there just for a moment, really. Just very briefly, because there's this whole ball thing. And, yeah, of course, there's a whole thing she has to ride on. These animals gets turned to these people, and, of course, help her out because of Prince Charming. Prince Charming is all around. And we have to see the fact that she has to go to this particular ball and she has this dress. This very nice dress. So, it plays out like the original, but except it's longer, of course. And eventually, of course, she eventually meets up with the character of the Prince Charming person. And they have a dance, of course. The whole shoot thing from the original is, of course, played out as well, folks. I mean, they could have explained a bit more because, again, it's just somehow this shoe fits only specifically her. But anyway, we go back to her life, which is pretty much wretched, like I said before. She doesn't like it, of course, she wants to get out. But anyway, the Blu-ray version, the high definition film is really good, folks. I did like the high definition quality of this film. So yeah, they really wanted to play this as a Blu-ray, so this film would definitely work in your high definition television. And there's not much behind the features, sad to say, for this version anyway. There's not many behind the features, but the audio is pretty good, folks. The audio is top notch. You can hear every single thing, the wind, the shoes walking. You can pretty much hear literally everything. So the sound quality, just like the visual quality, is top notch. So that's a good thing there. It's just the sad thing that really brings this version down is that the behind the features is really lackluster. There's barely anything there. So, yeah, again, another wasted opportunity here, folks, sad to say. I mean, it looks nice, sure, it looks nice, but if it's all visual and that's it, it gets pretty boring after a while. And unfortunately, that's what this film is. It's pretty boring as a whole. Well, I guess I can watch a boring movie in HD, I guess. That's kind of nice, I guess. But yeah, folks, you can see every single detail on the dresses of all the characters and all the outfits and whatnot. You can see literally every single button. So yeah, your eyeballs are in for a treat. So that's something, I guess. So that ain't bad at all. So, of course, it comes with a DVD copy of the film and the digital download.
So you have three options there. So that's a plus there, folks. If you want to download into your computer, you do have the ability to do so. So I want to talk about the mother character really. I didn't like this mother version really, folks. I mean, they were trying to make her seem nicer than the other version, which to me, as far as I'm concerned, that's a definite letdown. Yeah, they were trying to really make her seem human. I mean, not every villain needs to become evil just because of some tragic story. Some people are just flat out evil, unfortunately. But that's how life is. Some people out there are just bad. And of course, Cinderella rides some horses. She goes on these fields and all. She goes into town, which is confusing. I mean, seriously, if she found her life at home so miserable, why didn't she just, run away? I mean, she walked in town by herself quite a few times, and she went to that ball by herself, and she went to the meadows by herself, and she rode on those horses by herself. Plenty of opportunities to do so. Why did she have to specifically wait until Prince Charming come around to run away? That doesn't make any sense. And yeah, there's the mice from the original film, but they don't do anything with it. They're just there. They're only there because of the fact of the original. In the grand scheme of things, these little mice characters were totally inconsequential because they never amount to anything in the grand scheme of the story. So I don't get it. Why was their entire purpose other than the fact just to be there because of the original? So what? I don't get it. This is a poor excuse to have them there. And again, yes, I'm picking the villain character. She was supposed to be a villain, yet they somehow try to make her seem like she's there just because she's mean. And of course, the Prince Charming of you. I know they were trying to give him more personality because, if anything, the original get some criticism for not having Prince Charming in the screen time long enough. So I missed opportunity here because the story here, the love story, you want to call it that, just feels contrived. So very contrived. He's just there. Prince Charming is here just because the plot said so. Because the story itself requires him to do so. Therefore, it feels contrived. So, if anything, he's just a walking plot convenience device. And that was about it. So, yeah, that's pretty lame, folks. So, that's pretty poor writing right here, folks. So, I didn't like that. Oh, Cinderella. Poor Cinderella. She needs Prince Charming to save her, even though she could easily run away. So yeah, what I'm saying here is that they made her pretty weak in some aspects of her character, which is a contradiction because they wanted her to be strong and independent. So yeah, that whole aspect of the story seems contradictory. If Prince Charming likes strong women, then this aspect of the character would have been a major turn-off because she just comes off. She's just gonna be whipped around just because someone else said so. So yeah, folks. So yeah, they brought the father character in here. Again, the criticism from the original film, people felt that he didn't have enough screen time. So to make up for it, they were trying to give him more screen time in this version. But not even that worked. He doesn't really do anything. So again, just like with the mice, he's totally inconsequential because he didn't amount to anything. Well, other than the fact that he wants... So yeah, if anything, he wants grandchildren. So he pretty much wants Prince Charming to impregnate Cinderella just for that. Golly, Dad, I guess I'll do that for her. I'll be nothing more than just a sperm donor just for the state. Yeah, let's impregnate Cinderella just so your kingdom can stay around longer. I mean, what is this? A live-action version of fan fiction where the characters like Elsa, Anna are pregnant? Ew. This reminds me of those weird games I played online. Some fans are actually okay with this. I guess they made some stuff for Rapunzel being impregnated. So yeah, that's how it comes off. If the father character really wants a pregnant woman, he wants another one, just get another woman. I mean, you're the king and all, it shouldn't be that hard to do. Give me a break. Instead of forcing your son to do that to Cinderella. This sounds like awfully familiar, don't it? Wait, this sounds awfully like North Korea. Forcing someone to do something that they may or may not want to do to begin with. Come on now. What is this, communism? Give me a break here. So yeah, those are huge laps of logic here, folks. They want to help everybody, yet this kind of thing is being played here. So that seems like a contradiction right off the bat, right then and there. So, I mean, it makes no sense really. Shouldn't this be a choice? If women want to be pregnant, that's fine, but don't force them to do it. That's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, and the favorite godmother, like I mentioned earlier, folks, she really doesn't amount to anything either. She's just there just to push the plot along. Again, she just like some of the other characters, she's nothing more than just a walking plot convenience and nothing more. We just see her that one time, and that's about it. So yeah, she came off pretty useless. She was just there just for that one scene where Cinderella gets her dress, and yeah, that's about it. She doesn't serve any other purpose in terms of story. Of course, Cinderella herself is all happy and whatnot, and she never questions the entire situation as it happens. Yeah, she just accepts it as reality, of course, and that's it. Seems kind of weird if you ask me. Yeah, this scene got me thinking, if this particular individual has this magic up her sleeve, well, shouldn't Cinderella herself just wish her away or something? And just take Prince Charming with her? Or does that make too much sense here? Again, like I said, folks, stick with the original. It's so much better. Yes, I know it received lots of criticism throughout the years, but still, it's so much better than this, folks. It's not just me thinking about nostalgia. A lot of people might be thinking, oh, you just seen this as a kid, therefore you liked it. But what people fail to realize is that, well, folks, I'll tell you this right now. Like I said many times before, it was around even before the Great Depression. So yeah, when this movie finally came out, the original version, I was not a child. So yeah, telling me that, oh, I had fond memories of this movie, and therefore I like the original better, makes no sense. So yeah, keep that in mind, folks. So yeah, the mother character, they really trying to make her seem more human, and just make her seem more likable, which of course I didn't like. Even the stepsisters were attempted to come off more likable, but even they fell in that degree, folks. I really didn't like this movie at all. I'll say, let's burn it. Yeah, and take care of this thing. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There you go. And this is a lousy book anyway, so here we go. Yeah. Yeah, come on. Yeah, spray that stuff on there. There you go. Spray it. Maybe yeah, a tad more. A tad more. There you go. Well, what's the matches? Here we go. That book is lousy anyway, so it makes sense to burn it with it, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Yep, yeah, I need some more matches there. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. Alright. There you go. Now it's really getting there. Oh, now I went further to the side there. But that's fine. I got some more here. No need to worry. Yeah, now it's really cooking. Okay, that was a bad pun. Alrighty. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Burn, baby, burn. Yeah, this movie's lousy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Oh. That's really getting up there. It's really getting up there. Oh, God. That's fine, though. It's fine. Let it burn for a little bit. Yeah. Yep. Even the music in this particular movie was not that memorable, really, folks. I know there was music being used because this is a Disney film, but even the music itself didn't play all that well out, actually. I don't remember any of the music, really. So even the music itself was pretty forgettable, if you ask me, folks, because I thought it was pretty generic. I mean, it's Disney. Of course, we're going to have some music here and there, but as a whole, folks, they didn't like it all that much. The music itself is just very, very forgettable as a whole, folks.
So yeah, at the end of the day, folks, I felt this film was totally unnecessary. Granted, sure, it's not the worst remake I've seen. I guess at best, it's just mediocre. It's about as mediocre can possibly be. It's just okay, I guess. Still doesn't beat the original. I mean, okay, granted, even the original film that Walt Disney made, yeah, I mean, granted, sure, that film also got some criticism as well from parents and these feminazis as well, sure. But besides all that, the film as a whole was just fine the way it is. I mean, they attempted to add a few things to make it seem interesting, but unfortunately that actually backfires because that actually created more plot holes in the story than necessary. This version of the story actually has more plot holes. than it should have been. I mean, I don't want to talk about every single one of them because I don't want to spoil for those who have not seen it. But if you're asking for my opinion, folks, I should stay with the original. This one's not that good. This one doesn't really add anything new, really. It's pretty much the same movie again. It's literally the same movie again, except with a bigger budget and this live action. Other than that, the movie as a whole, it's the same movie. It's pretty much the same thing. But so yeah, I say it's not worth watching. It really, really isn't, folks. I didn't care for it. I say skip it. Yeah, thumbs down for me. I've seen this film with the Amazing Maddie, so Amazing Maddie, if you're watching this review, I highly appreciate the fact that you've seen this film with me. Even though at the end of the day, it was just a total waste of time.
Definitely one of the worst I've seen. Like this one, for example. This is definitely one of the worst remake I've seen in years, if not the absolute worst. I mean, granted, it's so bad, I couldn't actually make fun of it, like that one show I like. I mean, okay, I could do the same thing with this particular movie as well. So come on, Disney, you're gonna do better than this.
Boring. Really, really boring. Ooh.
Why was this film remade in the first place? It pretty much did the same thing as the original, in retrospect. I mean, sure, they gave some different details here and there, but in a nutshell, it's pretty much the same movie. So I don't get it. They could have just left it alone. I mean, it's already bad enough they got 2 sequels that were really good. And then got a Brandy film, which was a remake. So this one is a remake of a remake that had 2 sequels before this. So I don't get it.
Yeah, folks. Just quite obviously, I'm going to stick with the original. And that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, again, this was not needed to be remade. Especially considering the fact that this film was already remade by Brandy. I mean, granted, I didn't like that one either. That was kind of bad. But yeah, this was not that much better, really. It really isn't. What? Just a bigger budget? So what? So all in all, folks, this was just a total bore fest. It really, really was, folks.
Ah, it's you, Mr. Monkey. How many times I tell you I don't want to buy you these movies. Go and get. Yeah, get out of here. Hey, hitting you with a ruler. Get. Go and get. See, leave me alone, boy. Get. Damn primate. Seriously. I said go away. Get out.
Hey, my name is Rick. Yeah, stop attacking this movie. It's such a masterpiece. Sure.
Wait.
What?
Hey, what's going on there? What? Huh?
What?
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm trying to talk about the movie.
Ooh, what do you got here?
Hey, man.
What's going on there?
Keep attacking this movie. It's such a masterpiece.
Get the fuck out of here.
You hit my belly. What you hit my belly for?
Alright, calm down, guys. Calm down, will you?
You got a big old belly here.
Nice camera.
Hey, don't do that. Hey.
In the original film, yeah, the stepmother was just evil. Yeah, not everything needs a deep-rooted reason. She was just a bad seed in the family. That was it. She even frightened Cinderella quite a few times. Yeah, and that's all you really needed. It did not need some complicated backstory for that kind of thing. Just keep it simple. Or like the mother character, well, supposed mother character from Tangled. She's manipulative, twisted, play with Rapunzel's emotions, just for her own selfish interest. And that was it. She wanted to remain beautiful and young forever. Yeah, that's it. You don't need some complicated backstory again. She even frightened Rapunzel quite a few times. Oh boy, made her scared, and that was fine. That's probably fine right there. I didn't mind that. Unfortunately, I did not get that same kind of vibe here with this version of the mother, folks. I really, really didn't. So, they could have had something here, folks. They could have had something. But at the end of the day, it just came out of, like, these characters were one-dimensional at most. And I really didn't like the characters. Making you feel sympathetic towards Cinderella also felt contrived. Really, really trying to tug at your heartstrings. Especially when the step-siblings were attacking her over and over again. Oh boy. How am I supposed to feel sympathetic towards Cinderella when she could have easily just got up and gone anywhere herself. So she just pretty much just submitted herself to this harm because the plot said so. So come on, now this makes no sense. Could have as easily just moved out, or even stood up for herself at the very least, but she didn't even do that at all. But she's supposed to be strong and independent. That seems contradictory.
I mean, I am glad at the fact that there's a female lead, which is surprising because Disney Studios on this place is known for its princesses, so of course we're gonna have a female lead, and that's fine by me, I guess. But this version of Cinderella, they didn't come off that interesting, really. I didn't like this one, really. I mean, they really attempted to make her seem like she's independent, strong, and whatever. That's fine. And I mean, I see what they're trying to do, folks. They actually wanted to make this Cinderella be more capable of doing stuff more than the original. You know, I see what they were aiming at. But unfortunately, like I said before, that actually made more plot holes. She was all running around all over the place, going outside the castle, going in, going out. In that case, she could just as easily ran away and never returned. I mean, okay, granted, you're sure running away from your problems is never the answer. But at the same time, that doesn't mean she has to be a pushover. That's the thing. At least in the original film, at least they explained the fact that she's probably too poor or to actually go anywhere. She was pretty much trapped within one place. Unfortunately, in this one, they do attempt to explain that angle, but it just their explanation just end up creating up story holes. Just some loopholes in the story. Yeah, of course, it's longer than the original. It doesn't necessarily have to be longer. I don't think so. But sometimes shorter is better.
Probably the most memorable part of the film is the sequence in which Cinderella transforms herself and has this dress. I mean, it looks kind of nice, but I still prefer the original version, actually. But a lot of people are going to be bringing up this outfit anyway. So this tells me she has a lot of money herself. So that just begs the question, again, why didn't she just get up and go away? In the original version, she was pretty poor. Now the outfits were pretty nice here, so it just begs the question even further. So why didn't she just go and leave? I don't get it.
I don't like this movie. I know there's some people out there that did enjoy this film, but, you know, good for you, I guess. But personally speaking, there was no enjoyment in this movie, really. I mean, I do see what they were trying to do with certain aspects of the story, sure. But altogether, I just felt that ultimately this was a failure. I mean, the Blu-ray version of this film looks nice. I mean, it looks really top-notch. That's probably the best aspect of the film, I can say. It's probably the visuals on Blu-ray. It looks really nice. It looks really nice. It's visually stunning to look at, and especially in high definition, with a great sound to it. So yeah, the audio is great. It's visually stunning. Yeah, and the special effects aren't too bad, I guess. I mean, it's not gonna win any awards for best special effects, but yeah, but still the special effects aren't too bad. So I mean, there's some things I did like about this film, but I still felt that it's still unnecessary. It's still a totally unnecessary, uninteresting, unimportant remake. Like the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave it alone. Hey. Anyway, folks, this version of the film of Cinderella, this remake,
If she's capable to ride the horse in a huge backyard, so in that case, why can't she just leave away? I mean, it's not like she's confined into one household, so she could just easily never return. I mean, hell, she went to the town quite a few times. If her life is such a miserable at home, just leave. and never return. Who said you have to stay in that particular house permanently? Ah, come on, this makes no sense. I get it. This film needs to be faithful to the source material and whatnot, but the thing is, up to the point where she meets up with the fairy godmother, she was miserable. So when she meets her up again, why didn't she ask the fairy godmother to bring her mother back from the dead? I mean, it would make more sense if she did. Doesn't the fairy godmother have some sort of powers anyway? So they could have easily done that. So this leaves a giant gaping plot hole. Towards the end of the film, where the glass slipper somehow stumbles upon the steps, it survives. But when the stepmother grabs it, it's easily broken. Why is that? That doesn't make any sense at all. I know this is just an excuse to move the plot forward, sure, but it's just dumb. Maybe it was softened after so many times people have worn it, but that just seems like way too much to explain just for this one part of the movie. It's just, again, really, really dumb. I don't understand it at all. The fairy godmother has stated that her magic will lose their power after midnight. Indeed, when Cinderella runs away from the ball, all the magic items, the mice, the pumpkin and whatnot, do turn back to where they were originally. However, yet there's no reason as to why the magic shoes should remain in their magical state. I think those would have morphed as well along with the other items too. Yeah, another plot hole is that the shoe came off obviously from Cinderella, so why did he exactly go all around town searching for that specific foot? I mean, you would think he would have remembered Cinderella's face, and if he actually remembered her face, you'd think he would have actually recalled her when she went to her house. And I know she looked like a maid at the time, but still, her face gives it away, so obviously. Came off rather contrived, but for plot hole number 5, you'd think this shoe would have been, I guess, fit any woman. The Prince Charming over here went all over town, and not one single woman had the same foot size, I mean. So why is this so specifically just for her? Again, this just comes off awfully contrived. At least with the original animated film, you could always argue that these magical shoes were specifically for Cinderella. But in this one, there's no such explanation. This new version of the story is supposed to be the worst possible message of Cinderella living in the worst possible conditions. And how is she that she's living in this particular place where she can walk around all freely? So why isn't there any guards or anything, anybody, to keep her eyes on them? So she can go out anytime, anywhere, at any moment, at any time of the day. What? Again, this goes back to the fact that she's able to go outside so freely. When she's walking with her sisters, why doesn't she just call for help when she's outside? I mean, there are laws and regulations when it comes to any city around the world, and so why can't she just call out for a citizen for assistance? You know, since they're being so abusive and all, why can't you just ask for help from, you know, anyone? Not gonna be kind enough to actually help her? Please, somebody help me. This film is driving me insane with this lack of logic. Aye. Number 2, it just brings me to my next point, folks. The doors were never exactly locked. There were no guards. But the grandmother did not have somebody to keep at like a 24-hour watch. Nobody was stalking her. Nobody had anything to keep her inside. So how is she being cooked up inside, really? How was she a slave, really? And the stepmother and the stepsisters are filthy rich, so it would make sense for them to hire somebody, you know? So, yeah. And number 10 is that when they actually found out about this situation with their stepsisters and stepmother, why doesn't the king just tie up the law and make this kind of a thing more illegal? You know, keep on better watch out there. Maybe have the officers or military or somebody go around and make sure nothing's wrong. I mean, he's the king. Yeah, he doesn't do anything about this. You just forget about it after a while. So what? I've attempted to watch this again, folks. And the more I thought about it, the less I liked it. So yeah, folks, you can't blame me for not liking it. I did give this film a shot, okay? I really did. I've watched it more than once. And the more I think about it, it's actually less than mediocre. And oh boy, I mean, there's certain aspects of the film I did like, but it's not really in the storytelling, really. I like some of the surroundings, I like some of the settings in the film. Some of the production value is actually pretty good. I like some of the makeup. Some of the makeup wasn't too bad. I mean, the main actress who plays Cinderella, she's pretty. And the dude that plays Prince Charming, he doesn't look too bad either. So, a lot of the wardrobes that they use in the film wasn't too bad. A lot of the location scenes actually look pretty good. The location scenes look really good. And if you buy this on Blu-ray, you can actually see all the detail in the backgrounds and whatnot in this high definition. So yeah, there's some stuff I liked about this film, but it's not really in the storytelling, not in the narrative really, but in more in the other stuff like the production values, the set designs, some of the sound effects, stuff like that. I liked it, but ultimately, the ultimate flaw is the story itself. This movie is awful, folks. Again, like I mentioned before, this isn't exactly the worst remake I've seen. I've seen remakes that were far worse than this. However, that is not the film's saving grace. It's still pretty bad. I really didn't like it at all. I was really hoping they would be good. I honestly did. Anyway, Cinderella, even the Blu-ray version, is awful, folks. It really is. There's nothing particularly I can say I can recommend about this film. It gets an overall rating of 3.9 out of 10. I could say 3.9 out of 10. And as always, thanks for watching, and take care. See ya. Oh yeah.